Aslama, hello, it's Vivian from the Weaver's Door sharing another story in our series, Keeping Up with the Tunisians. Sometimes the best things are discovered on the side of the road. Meet Maher Ayezil Al-Khait, a local rope spinner in Sayada. He makes special order rope for fishing boats and more with his son Sammy and Nabil. We pass this equipment almost daily, and I had no idea what it was. One afternoon, my husband and I were driving along our road, and my first thought was the power lines must have fallen. As I asked about it, Jamal said, "No, that's the rope spinner working." I had no idea this job existed. Maher starts with about 50 spools of yarn on the ground. The yarns are all threaded through a guide hanging at the top of a metal rod. He ties the yarns together on his spinner machine and gives Nabil the bunch of yarn. Nabil pulls the yarn out about 40 feet and stops. That's when Maher turns on the spinning mechanism, which twists the strings together to form a hefty wad of yarn that is now shrunken from about 40 feet to maybe 20 or less. Maher stops the spinner, unties the wad of yarns, and hands it over to Nabil, who then starts walking with a knotted mask, placing the soon-to-be rope on each rack that has been placed on the roadside. Nabil eventually hands this over to Sammy, Maher's son, who walks the yarns down the street to the agreed measurement of 400 meters. The threads naturally spin together from the initial tension and the tension of Maher's machine, which is spinning as Sammy continues to walk. When Sammy reaches his spot, he'll wave or call his dad on the phone and say, "Hey, all good." Maher will cut and tie off the length, and the process repeats. They complete 9 lengths of this rope over 2 days. All the while, cars are driving by, some at incredible speeds, and thankfully no one gets hurt. The next step in making the rope is to take 3 of the lengths of rope and spin them together using this larger spinner. Because the initial ropes are so large, a lot of space is needed to do this final twist safely. Maher and his team get up at 3 a.m. to start the next step. It's safer, explains Maher, at this hour, and easier to work with no cars coming and going. We arrived the next morning at 7 a.m. to find them rolling the newly made rope into spools for delivery. One rope will weigh about 400 kilos or 950 pounds. You will see firsthand that rolling the rope into a spool is another big job. Using a few tools and a rolling device, they get the rope wound and tied with some lighter rope. It really looks impossible that it would all fit, but Maher has a process for larger ropes to fit even if it goes past the spans of the spooling tool. Eventually, it's all tied off and rolled to the curb for pickup. It's now 8:30 a.m. and they have been at it since 3. The boat owner is coming by shortly to pick up his order, and Maher and his team have finished just in time. Thank you again, Maher, Sammy, and Nabil, for showing me how it's made. Here's some fun facts. Rope is sold by the kilo here, and the rope is usually weighed in at the fish market where there are larger scales to kind of measure these. A purchaser can ask for specific colors of rope, and this rope spinner makes about 30 ropes each year. I am told that there's also a woman rope spinner in Sayada, and I hope to meet her too soon someday. Shukran, Maher. If our stories make you grin, show some love by hitting the thumbs up. And keep up with the Tunisians by subscribing to our channel below. Until next time, find this video and more at theweaversdoor.com.